It was the most original script I'd read for months, or maybe ever. I thought, this is a character I have to play. She was just, everything I've kind of been wanting to see in a woman on screen. Allowed to do all the things that men have always been allowed to do, be ruthless, ambitious, get exactly what she wants, strive for what she wants shamelessly and unambiguously. She just has no fear of not being liked. She is out to win. She wants to make money. All the things that have been always considered not very feminine qualities. Marla has them in spades, and she's fun to watch. She's kind of unlikable, but you love her, you root for her, you kind of want to go where she goes because she shocks you, but you kind of love the shock. The tone of this film is very specific, and it required actors who all got it. It requires, in fact, every department to get it. It's a kind of black comedy. It's a satire. It's a satire on the America that we see now. It has moments of being very, very funny, but it has to always sort of tread that line of truth while kind of hovering maybe slightly off the ground. It's a very specific tone. It's a very cool tone. It's a very kind of iconic tone if we get it right. It has its own unique quality, and that is... I knew from when I first read the script that if the tone wasn't nailed, the whole film wouldn't work. And as soon as we hit day one, I knew that the cinematographer got it. The production designer got it. Jay, of course, he's written it. He knows exactly what he wants. And it is the tone that I had in my head when I first read the script. It's irreverent, it's dark, it's committed, it's funny, it's idiosyncratic, it's kind of quite rude at times. It's very, very specific. The title is in part satire, it's irony, but it's also fact, because Marla Grayson, my character, she's a guardian, a professional guardian for elderly people, and she does care a lot. She has a lot of wards, she does a lot of caring. But it's also, I think, a satire on, perhaps the virtue signalling that we see everywhere at the moment of people who are desperate to show us how much they care about everything. And here we have a woman who claims to care, who in many ways is despicable, and many parts of her morals and ethics we don't agree with at all, and she seems almost to be somebody who does quite the opposite, who takes advantage of people rather than cares for them as she professes. The underwater filming world is just quite another thing, and again it's a chance to see this character and see her give her all, and I think that's the exciting thing about Marla, is that she never gives up. She will fight to the death, and she wants to win, and you don't see that very often in female characters. And, fighting for your life underwater, it's adrenalizing, it's fun, it's you're out of your element, you're in an element that you can't survive in. And yet, somehow with the apparatus they've got set up here, you can do it, you can be locked in a car, it can be submerged in water, you can't breathe, and yet you can fight your way out. Marla Grayson, the one person in her life who she truly loves, is Fran, her wife. And I think it's so crucial that for a character like Marla, who has so many qualities that are not admirable, and who many of us might choose not to like, even though we grudgingly respect her, it's nice to see that even people who do the worst things are loved and love back. And I think Marla, loves fiercely and in a very, very real way. And Fran is the one thing she cares about in life. And we needed somebody who Marla could show her vulnerability with, I suppose, because this is a woman who doesn't expose her vulnerability to anyone except to Fran. I've always wanted to work with Peter. Well, I've certainly wanted to work with him for a long time, and I greatly admire his work. I kind of love his personality. I think he just brings such originality to every role he plays, because he's so clever and he's so deft and he's so kind of charismatic and sexy and darkly funny, and he brought all those things to Rukov. Diane Wiest, you know, she saw an opportunity which she seized in the most brilliant way. You know, she was real, she was funny, she was disarming. You know, she gave me a hard time. You know, these scenes that are written for Marla to win in, it wasn't easy for me to win, because Diane puts up such a convincing and interesting and unusual fight. You know, it's great when you work with an actor who can see what the script has and then embellish it and then pull it one way and pull it the other way. And you know, she didn't make it easy for me, and it was all the more fun because of that. You know, she didn't make it easy for Marla, I should say. I think Jay is someone who is meant to direct his own words. You know, he has such a specific, you know, bold, fierce use of language, and it's a joy for actors, and therefore it's a joy for actors to be directed by the person who wrote that. And he's such a cinephile, and he knows exactly what he wants, and knows how to, more importantly, I suppose, knows how to execute the tone that the piece needs. Knows that the visual punch alongside the performances is what's going to sell the whole thing, and is going to get the tone that we were speaking about before. Jay is he's a very calm person, and that's not to say that he's not fiercely passionate. He is, but he maintains an equilibrium and a calm. The crew really respects him and likes him. He's got tremendously specific and certain taste, and he'll only go again if he needs something different, and he knows exactly what he's looking for. And he's also got the edit in his mind all the time. He's got tremendous respect for people, and it's really nice. The crew loved him, and that makes for a very positive atmosphere on set, because people who are working long hours, doing difficult stuff, they want to get it done because they like him so much. When I read it for the first time, I just thought, wow, this is amazing. This is so original, so irreverent and cool and funny, and like something I've just never seen. This isn't out in the cinemas, this material. I just want people to have a fun ride with this film. I want people to kind of be giddy with excitement at the appalling nature of what they're witnessing, but also what a good time they're having watching it. That's what I want people to feel. Jay is giving you the right in this film to love what you shouldn't, to kind of get into what you know you should disapprove of, and to relish what you know you should despise. And I love that. I love the kind of world turned on its head, and the way you root for people that you shouldn't, and the way you like people who you should turn away from. And then the way that the characters surprise you. I think that's also very cool.